don't know, look at that.
This is our demographic right here. Obviously the biggest audience is 25-54. One surprising thing right here, our female audience is up. It used to be a little over 1.5% last year. Now it's much, much higher. So the females, if you are watching, thank you for discovering our channel. Comment below, let us know what you drive. We are interested in all of our viewers. And of course, we love cars. All right, let's get into it. Give you guys a timeline. It is May 26th. It is David S. in the shop right now. That's some of the stuff that David S. is getting. Let me show you his car. Right here, this came all the way from Missouri, or as some people call it, Missouri. Correct me, which way do you say it? What do you think it's here for? This is super, super gooey.
Probably been on there a couple days.
Yeah, look at that, it's like tar. So it's so funny when we see cars that get patched up to keep the tops rolling. What is going on there? Is that the secret compartment just laid backwards?
Oh yeah, it's open.
Okay, wait, what is that doing back there? I mean, you could almost put your hand through there and fix it. That is bizarre. So yeah, both sides bad. He's getting oil and suspension too. A couple of other things he's gonna get while he's here, which I just showed you on the list. But just interesting, talking to customers that come a long way. Drove from Missouri. Yesterday came from Gatlinburg, did it in one trip. Robbins top, yellow stitch wheel. I'm going to show you that. That is something that's a really nice piece and it adds to the car. Walbro pump, he's planning to turbocharge it down the road. And he has a cluster lens phone holder. That's the LHT phone holder. And if he buys it from us, we're going to install it for free. We've got to check the cruise control. All-ins, he wants them to LHT spec. We're going to flush the clutch fluid. And these are parts in the back. And I think it's cruise control parts we've got to look at. No, seals. Seals in the truck. See, got to decode that. This is the back section that you don't usually see. All the plastic panels. The fuel pump is under there. These panels come off and we like to clean all these before we put it back together. What is that? Look at that. I just feel like I need gloves to get this out. Eek. What is that? I don't know, look at it. It's like a decomposed something or other. What is that? It's not an animal, is it?
I don't think so.
Meanwhile, I'm digging around bare hands. It could be anything down there. It's packed down there in that drain. That scoop. Vacuum the rest out. That's the first. You ever seen that before?
No, it's got a tag.
It says 2,000 years old. Yours sincerely, the Romans.
It was a medium something or other, probably a shirt.
Yeah, I mean, have you ever seen one decompose like that? Who knows? Could be as old as the car, but we'll vacuum that. Let's vacuum this before this goes everywhere. We'll pull these clips out. These have already been, actually they're all actually intact. Instead of all being removed, that one's different. That one's a stock one. That one's different. It's got different clips all over the place.
This is what it was.
Wow.
It used to look like one of these.
That's interesting. Used to look like that. So if the owner is watching, if you remember having a shirt like that, it's no longer like that. I think it's coffee time. Frappuccino white.
Oh, nice.
These are the straps that came off it. Very common to see them like this. So obviously when we do the new top, we put new straps on. But if you don't do the top, we have straps in the store that you can install. The ones that have the little pins that you wrap around and the pins go in the rivets, but it will save you a lot of hassle. But yeah, this is pretty common. Take a look up on yours top and see if it looks like that. Look at that. there's our phone mount. I do believe this is probably one of the better mounts on the market, if not the best, because we've looked at everything, tested everything, and I've been using the one in our car for about a year now. So we have two options. One is this one that I'd call the more track focused Canyon Dragon Road kind of mount. No phone is going to fall out of this thing, and you could probably flip the car and the phone wouldn't come out. Then we have the MagSafe option, which is replacing this. We're going to have that as a dedicated option here soon. Probably by the time you see this video, we'll have two options, this style and the MagSafe. But as you see, it's got the brace here with the sponge. That's it. And then we have a charging cable that fits in here, it runs down here, and has a 90-degree end with a small charging piece there, so you can use that door, you're not going to break it off. But it's very, very clean. But that was the other piece that he wanted, was the phone mount. You know, you need a steering wheel.
Oh, this has got a nice one coming.
That is a small wheel. Gets it off your knees, doesn't it?
If you do this,
You on the wheel now, or you want to wait?
for the nice one, we're gonna wait because
Okay.
The stitching's a bit light colored.
Yeah, we don't want to jack that stitching up. So he wants Olin's on this, and that can be the dirty portion next. And he wants the clutch master flushing. I did a video on clutch masters, by the way. There's a bunch of fake ones out there claiming to be OEM, and they're not. They're just put in the details they're OEM, genuine Honda, and they're not. So we need to flush that. 200,000 mile cars from up north can be problematic. This one isn't too bad. It's a little corroded, but the bolts all came out. So this one is getting Olin's right here. We'll show you this. One thing, Olin's give you it in a kit form. Everything is in pieces. You have to assemble it and set the system up before you install it. But we have a couple of different setups. One we call the LHT spec, which is pretty conservative. It's a 20mm drop. It gives it more of an aggressive look, gives it a little bit better handling without compromising the suspension geometry or making it so low it scrapes everywhere. It's a very conservative look. It's a 50-year-old guy perspective of a lowered car. Beauty of this, you can go as low as you want.
He's trying to figure that out now.
So we just bled the clutch fluid, put fresh fluid in there. It's got a squeak. So we're gonna try something real quick and see if it is coming from the slave cylinder right where the ball enters the shift fork. See if it's dry. If it is, we'll go ahead and fix that. I just realized it's got a braided steel hose on it, and somebody left the old one. They just cut it off like.
Yeah, top to bottom braided steel.
Yeah.
But both ends of it are all the way dry.
That might be it. That's something to check. It's obviously a lot easier than taking the transmission down and doing the release bearing. The release bearing makes more of like a groany creak. This one makes like a squeak. So fingers crossed that's the issue. It'll make him happy. George is going to take this one for a test drive, just make sure everything is happy. Then we'll come back and verify the height is correct, check it and double check it. And we're going to diagnose the cruise control, see if that's something we can fix while it is here. And let's get a shot of it. For height, this is the LHT spec. It's 20mm drop. Get it sideways. There you go. See, it's a nice height. So the top looks good. We fixed the cruise control. The suspension is all in spec. So this one's done. We have another car, kind of like a fit between car. It's a 2008 S2000. Customer came in saying it squeaks.
Get it on the down.
So a customer came in with a squeak, and it's more like a creak. But I'm trying to figure out where it comes from. Let's go up.
Yeah, I think it might be this front bushing.
Really?
Yeah, that's like when you put your hand on everything, then you can feel it as it makes noise in the front. Maybe you could try a couple 17 wrenches. I could loosen this bushing.
Just readjust it?
So that it isn't, you know.
Under tension?
Yeah, and then see if it still makes the noise.
Okay. Let's try that again. So George just backed off the bolts for the low control arm. That way it's not moving on the bushing. We're just going to see if it will eliminate that joint. Is that dead center of the wheel?
Yeah, it's pretty close.
So we had a creak here. not getting a creak now.
No, that's our creak gone.
Yeah, that was it, wasn't it?
Yep. Well, that bolt wasn't incredibly tight, so we'll go up with the car and I'll tighten it all the way down. We'll try this again.
Yeah.
But that was the creak for sure. That's gone.
Yeah, because it was right there.
Yeah, it would have already made noise.
You think somebody's, does it look like it's had an alignment? Maybe the alignment guy left some of these bolts.
I mean, I can't really tell because there's no marking or anything on it.
So just for you guys that don't know what we're talking about, while we put this car up in the air, we're going to load this suspension so we can tighten it. I'm going to show you a bushing and show you exactly what's happening here. So this is one of the bushings that we would be referring to. So this is essentially just, think of this as a sleeve within a sleeve surrounded by rubber. So this part here, when my hand is holding, this is the control arm. This is what is moving. This part here, the bolt goes through and it clamps that. So this part shouldn't move, and it should only move on the rubber, which when you have a little bit of a understanding of what's happening here, it honestly makes you think that that rubber wouldn't last. And it's the way the OE manufacturers, they all do it, and it lasts a good 20 years. But you would think that that rubber would just get tore out because you're twisting that rubber. It's surprisingly good. So essentially, let me put this in the vise and I'm going to show you a little bit better. So by clamping the inside here, this is your control arm that is pulling on this. The creaking we are thinking is the inner is actually moving on that subframe. So you're getting a little bit of creak, a little bit of flex, but this is the creaking here. By loosening that bolt here, essentially what we did was remove the tension on this, and this is just now making a noise. This is just spinning on the bolt, so there's no tension on it. Obviously, it can't stay like that because it would wear out that hole and wear out the bolt. But that is just one of those things. It's a process of elimination, so you're not spending a ton of time and a ton of the customer's money trying to figure out a problem. So it's torqued down correctly now. Just checking for creaks. No, I think that's it.
Yeah, it would have made a noise by then.
Yeah, that would have been it.
Now, when I loosened it, it didn't take much effort at all to loosen it, so.
So it probably worked its way loose, or it wasn't 100% torqued down, maybe after an alignment. So that might be it. If you want to go for a quick spin with this, take a test drive and confirm his creak has gone, I think this guy will be tickled.
Yeah, he did say the noise started after a spirited drive with some friends.
Yeah, well, it'd be good if that's all it is. Because he's contemplating possibly doing a turbo package. So if you can save somebody some money and be honest with them, they'll come back and give you more. It's kind of that old philosophy, you know, treat the guy like he's yourself. Don't look at it like, well, you know what, I've only got half an hour in this thing. I got to figure out how to charge the guy 3 hours, you know? Yeah,
those things you can get him for one job, and then he'll never come back.
And then you lose it.
Continue to come back.
Exactly, yeah. You want long-term work, or do you want just get him and shake him down now? I mean, it's terrible, but so many times we hear that. So, all right, let's go take it for a test drive. All right, everything's good. George just drove this. No more squeaking, no more creaking. It was just essentially the alignment bolt. So while it was here, George went over all the other bolts, made sure they were tight and torqued correctly so we don't have any more issues. After a test drive, everything is good. So, always good to give the customer good news and tell him it wasn't anything serious. So many times we'll get companies come to the shop and try and sell a service. Now we'll say, if your phone is faster than mine, I'll switch. Well, it might help because we have a tower in our backyard. But check out this little phone drag race. George just switched to AT&T.
Go screen.
All right, drag racing phones ready and go. So we got AT&T on the right, T-Mobile on the left.
No, that's about it.
Is it too late to put money on this race?
I mean, I wouldn't have anyways.
I'd definitely put money on the race. My my up is very high. My up's 90. Your up is almost the same, 80 to 90. My download is massive, but my uploads are about the same. You need to send that to AT&T.
You need to switch to fiber.
Yeah, that's what it says. $13.85 though. I mean, really?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Could you ever get? Do you want that? Wow, the uploads are about the same. All right. $13.85. Look at that. guy at T-Mobile really likes me.
Yeah.
He follows us.